Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, and Maggie is back for blood. Yes, I'm going to do it. I know that Maggie has gotten a bad rap recently, and we're going to talk a little bit about redemption and the things that we do for other characters, and why there's just such a dark cloud above Maggie. A couple bad theories that were out there. You guys know who are out there publishing the confirmed video. Seems like every week now it's Jerry's bitten, Maggie's dead, Maggie was a walker, all this stuff that's out there. I love getting a video that says confirmed and then it is anything but. But let me give a super special shout out to the Patreon Army. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. We had a good time last night. We did some pack openings. We did a little bit of sample duels. You guys know that The Walking Dead is, we're still a couple months away. But we've got Mashup Mondays, which is trivia, some Walking Dead trivia mixed in there. We do our random things. And, of course, our game, Real-Time Role-Playing, we have an absolute blast with that. I chose this picture specifically because I'm not only going to talk about Maggie. I'm going to talk about, and it's not just the outfit. It's the writing. It's the demeanor of what I feel like Maggie needs to become. And I hope I don't kind of cross that line where people just come and say, hey, Kills, you're trying to make her into, sexy Maggie, other Maggie, can have all those qualities. It's not about that. I'm going to bring a couple pictures up, and then I want your thoughts and your ideas on that. We got Goucher getting a little super sticker action. Thank you so much, Goucher. Appreciate you being here and being a part of it. Everything that we do, our theories, our funnels, and I'm not going to be quiet about it any longer. I've seen people, even Brian at the beginning of this video, he said, maybe she shouldn't have left. Okay, well, what she does to negotiate her salary is her own business. I get that, and I wasn't happy about it. I was one of the first people to go out there and put together a rant. But at this point, I'm over it. And it's time that we look at the character of Maggie and just stop harping on what Lauren did to screw over the Walking Dead universe. I don't think that's the case. I think that, in fact, I'm going to make a case that Maggie is going to be a much stronger character during the reboot than she would have been if she would have just stayed around. Because what were they doing to Maggie? And here you go. I don't know if this is it. If this is a George Drake thing, then, whatever. But do you guys remember this? I completely missed this. This might have been the rise of the bad theories or the confirmations. So did you guys catch this when this was a thing, that there were people out there actually saying that this Walker was Maggie, Walker Maggie? I don't even remember. It must have just completely went off of my radar. But, I was looking through some Maggie stuff today, and I'm thinking, like, really? That's what they did, is made her into an ice walker. It's like one of the most iconic characters on the show. I mean, let's be realistic here. You've got Rick, you got Michonne, you got Daryl, you got Negan, you got Carol, and you got Maggie that's up there. Like her or don't like her, she's up there. But to say that she was an ice walker, come on. This is a real thing of people that were out there clickbaiting and spamming videos to get views. Kind of like the Jerry is bitten thing that's out there right now, because of course they're going to put Jerry bitten on a teaser. Come on, people. That's not going to happen. But here's my problem with the Maggie storyline and the lack of redemption from the fans. It took me about a week or two to get over it, but I'm going to go back to how bad they made Maggie's character, okay? They made her hell-bent on vengeance, but then just casually walking away when she got the opportunity. They made her, Rick's holding baby Herschel and she's looking over his shoulder. And then, the scenes of, Jesus, what you did, that was right. What Rick did, that was wrong. Next time, we're going to be ready. They made her like this evil bitch, and the audience was forced to accept Maggie, and she wasn't even crazy, and she wasn't even evil. They just made her evil for like one scene, and then she wasn't evil anymore. So some really, really bad writing of leading up to that point, and then how she dealt with Gregory, and then that story. And I don't even think she was Well, Najee, bitter and angry, I get it, but bitter and angry was the cliffhanger, and how she was going to carry out her character, and then her leaving, I guess, left them holding the bag a little bit. Certainly. But I don't even know if it's 6 years to relax. I think it might be 6 years to reboot, 7 years to reboot, to be decisive, to come in and give this group a little bit more of what they need. So, look, I'm fine with everybody taking a few shots here, but, okay, let's do a comparative analysis here. So, comparative analysis, what has Maggie done wrong? Let's compare Maggie to Father G. Who should be a more despised character? Father G or Maggie? Brian, she left everyone at a time when there was nothing going on at Hilltop. And two people leading Hilltop. I mean, hey, sorry Tara and Jesus couldn't make a decision between the two of them, but it was peacetime. She didn't know the Whisperers were out there. She's got to go out, see a little bit more of the universe, take Herschel out there. You know, some people take their kids out and, show them the world. She didn't have to sit at Hilltop. So, who should be a more despised character, Maggie or Father G? Has Maggie locked up or locked out a congregation and had people die? She didn't run from the Whisperers. She didn't take off and say, hey, we're in a lot of trouble. I'm just going to leave you guys high and dry. She left during a normal time. So, who has done worse deeds up to this point? Maggie or Father G? Let's get some answers in here. Because it goes to show how easily the audience can turn on a dime. So Father G, but what's funny, Father G does all these things, and then he gets one prison scene of killing Dante, and now Father G is all forgiven. He's popular, he's trending on Twitter, all of the above, because we write a priest that is finally vengeful and goes crazy, for fear of another term. So, how about Negan? Is Maggie even in the same conversation as the things that Negan did? What has Negan done to this point to redeem himself? Did Maggie beat anybody down with a baseball bat? Did Maggie dance over someone's significant other's corpse? But certainly, Negan is up at the top of the totem pole, probably top 3 most popular characters on the show. But yet, Maggie, because she took her baby Herschel with Georgie, I mean, here's what you guys don't know. Does anybody know what secretly happened when Maggie left with Georgie? She rescued 1 million puppies. That's what she did. So if that doesn't put her to like godlike status right now, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, that's what they were out there doing. They were out there, wounded tigers, puppies, parrots. There were a couple parrots that had wounded wings. She became a veterinarian and went around and helped the zombie world. You just haven't found it out yet. But no. We're just going to keep blaming Maggie because she up and left and did not even do it under dire circumstances. But she still is one of the least popular characters on the show. So I would argue that was happening before she even left the show. And you know what else? If I was Lauren, I would have left the show too and said, write me a character that has a backbone. Write me a character that has some balls. Write me a character that can go in and kill somebody. Stop making me go around with this Aunt Jemima look and this, bandana on my head and I'm Mama Maggie and I can't do anything anymore. Let her leave for a little bit and then let her come back with a role. I think her reboot is going to be a much, much stronger role. One, because the audience needs it, but number two, because I think she needs it. And I think our group needs it because look at how weak our group is now. Hell, there's not even a person that can make a decision. Carol's super crazy. Michonne is taking Judith to Oceanside. Hey, here's a thought. Those of you that are pissed off at Maggie, why not be pissed off at Michonne? Michonne's taking Judith to Oceanside, and there's a whisper war going on at Alexandria. Where's the hate? How come nobody's pissed off at Michonne? Michonne's leaving? No. Oh, there's no anger with Michonne. Wait a minute. Maggie left at a time of peace, and she's hated. Michonne is going to leave, probably to go find Rick, in a time of war. And there's just not a public outrage at deny, like, why is she leaving? She's pursuing other opportunities. No, where's the anger with that? Seems like an unfair comparison, if you ask me. And guess what? Maggie's even coming back. Truth be told, because they decided to open the checkbook a little bit. Yeah, I know her show did not do well, but here's the thing. Who said her show flopped? Jerry? You know what? She made more off her show than she made off The Walking Dead the last 4 years she worked on The Walking Dead. Fact. So certainly, her $150,000 an episode was not up there in the top 10 on the show, and her character was becoming boring, and she got paid, and the show didn't do well. Now she's coming back to a slight raise. But all that aside, the character Maggie needs benefit of the doubt. And I know, look, Rick had no choice. He got rebarbed and then he got flown away. The actor had a choice. We're talking about the character, we're talking about the actor, and we're talking about the scenario of which both will be welcomed back onto the show. It's not a one without the other, because there's people in our streams that are angry at Lauren, and there's people in the streams that don't understand the story. But both kind of blame Lauren because she's the one who left, and the writers were forced to write her out a certain way. However, what I'm saying is pump the brakes for a minute here and look at what the writers were doing to her before she even left. Look at what they did to her in season 7. Look at what they did in season 8. So, just a business question for some of you. In hindsight, if the showrunners would have known that Andrew was leaving, do you think Maggie's story would have been written differently? Leave your thoughts to that. If the showrunners were 100% certain that Andrew was leaving, would they have paid Lauren more money and changed her role? Now, it wasn't that long ago, and look, I'm glad that I saw that. I don't know who typed it, but someone said Andrew had a legit reason to leave because of kids. It wasn't that long ago that the Drakes of the world were putting out videos saying that Andrew left because of Chandler and left because Carl died. And there still is a group of people that believe that, even though Andrew has said that's not the case. So we can always throw conspiracies out there. I have to take it for what the person says, and if Andrew says this is the way it is, I believe him. I take him at his word. I have no reason to think that he's a liar, just because other people are putting out videos that say the opposite. If I have to believe a confirmed YouTube video with no sources that are quoted, or an interview with Andrew Lincoln and the words come out of his mouth, well, I'm sorry, but I have to take Andrew Lincoln at his word. I can't take the confirmed YouTuber who does confirmed videos every day, which about 10% of which actually come true. So, back to the point of writing. We're going to go with 3 different prongs here, right? We're going to go with writing, we're going to go with forced writing, and we're going to go with Lauren's decision to leave. She left because she felt she was underpaid and she got a better opportunity. Is that reasonable or unreasonable? Just at face value, reasonable or unreasonable? She didn't have a contract. She didn't break the contract. She worked out the entirety of her contract, is what I'm telling you guys. She didn't say, screw you guys, I'm leaving. They paid her to a certain point. She fulfilled that. They didn't renew the contract. She left. She left her story open-ended in case she wanted to come back to The Walking Dead, and she never said, I'm not coming back to the show. So if we look at those boxes and say, is this a reasonable action? I think it's very reasonable. I think she has that right. Even if the Walking Dead universe is upset because it creates an awkward storyline. But it didn't take anything away from anybody. Look, let's look at let's look at the reality. I mean, if you really want to play the poor bleeding heart role, is it possible that Magna, Yumiko, Luke, Judith got more airtime? Which characters do you think got more airtime because Maggie was not on the show? Give me your I'm going to make your counter argument for you. Yes, I've had coffee, and yes, I am fired up today. This is my coffee voice. So, is it also possible that some of these other real actors financially benefited from Lauren not being on the show? Is it possible that Eleanor Matsura made a few extra $100,000? Is it possible that Kaylee Fleming made a few extra $100,000? Because they were allowed to play the role. And many of you have said that this season is one of the best seasons you've ever seen. Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You don't have to say it's the best and give me, the 1 or 2 episodes from other seasons. But would you agree that season 10 is one of the best that we've seen? And 9 was pretty good too. So, Lauren walked, little bit of a plot hole with her storyline. I get it. Not the first plot hole in the history of The Walking Dead. She pursued another opportunity. She moves on, leaves the story open-ended. Other actors step up. Show's great, as good as ever, highest rating on Rotten Tomatoes ever. Other actors get more money. They benefit from her. She benefits, they benefit. But there's a few fans that are just holding on to strands here because they just want to hate Maggie's character. So as I stated earlier, I think that vengeance should be more directed toward what you saw previous to this. So here's my question. When did Maggie's character start going downhill in your mind? When did you start to see it like, was it the lineup? Was it when she was pregnant with Herschel? Was it her decision making at Hilltop? Was it when she left? When did you start to lose a little bit of faith or a little bit of interest in Maggie's story? So they're all good answers. After Glenn died, when they moved to Alexandria, after the lineup. So lo and behold, why is there even a topic conversation? Because I don't think anyone here has typed when she left. But yet you're angry about when she left. You're angry about a bad character leaving. Because at the time she left, she was a bad character. Let's be realistic here. Let's call it what it is. When she became leader. I mean, where's the fake anger at? Come on, guys. We're better than this. So now we've had 7 years to really let them bring her back in and give her a reboot. Be angry if they make her a weak-ass character when she comes back. Don't misunderstand it because she's gone. This might be an opportunity to really get look, we ain't going to get a Rick back. But the same thing with Michonne. I've lost a little bit of interest in Michonne this season. Even though the season is good, I don't understand what her character's doing. I don't understand why she's not more protective. I don't understand why she's not going out there to kill Alpha to protect Judith. I don't understand a lot of things she's doing. And maybe in a year we'll look back on this and say, well, when did I start losing interest in Michonne? And it's not just Michonne. I mean, there's a list of other characters that have went through this. But the reason I started out this video and said that I'm going to go back to Team Maggie is because it's probably these type of images from season 5 when Maggie just, look, there's zombies behind. She's tough. She doesn't care. Take care of what you need to take care of. I don't know, maybe as the Glenn relationship got further and further, who knows? Maybe Maggie could have been a Daryl if all the other things would have happened differently, or if it would have been written differently. Wilson super chatting. I don't understand why Michonne left with a stranger she just met. She left with a stranger she just met, Wilson, and because she's trying to get weapons to end the war, but at the same time, in my mind, she's putting Judith at risk. So that to me is as bad writing or as big of a plot hole as anything else. Now, we're probably going to forgive it once she leaves and goes to find Rick and it's a bigger part of the movie. But is it a transitional period on the show? Absolutely. But it's something that'll just be buried under... We know she doesn't have a lot of episodes left. One is what we're hearing. But Maggie didn't put Herschel at risk. Maggie took Herschel. So I guess if you were comparing that... but Judith can take care of herself. That's also going to force the Judas storyline along as well. I'm not unhappy about that. I'm just you guys know the way I do things on Saturday. I like to get passionate about a topic. I think Maggie is coming back, and the whole title of this, Back for Blood, I think she needs, to me, she doesn't, the actor does not need a redemption, but I think for the story, Maggie needs a reboot, not necessarily a redemption. She needs to come in angry about Enid, about Jesus, about Tara. She needs to have some reservation about Negan being over with that group. I don't think she comes in trusting Negan. I think it's a very awkward situation. Maybe she even blames Negan to it. Like, what are you doing over there? You need to act. You need to take some action. Whether Negan gets caught in the crossfire, I have no idea. But I could also tell you that I could see Maggie and Daryl as a strong link between where we're at right now and the Commonwealth. Like when I see Daryl, I think Daryl would be a good, military type of operative. I see Maggie as that same type of female Daryl if written correctly. So I'm going to ask you guys one more question. Could you see a Maggie reboot with a military type of demeanor and a toughness that has been lacking as they transition to the Commonwealth story arc? If written correctly. And if not Maggie, who? Carol? You see military Carol? Lydia? Military Lydia? Maybe Yumiko? Maybe Cindy? But Rosita, but see, here's the thing, Ray. Could Maggie get that Rosita transition? Is Rosita even going to be on the show? Just food for thought. Rosita, certainly. And it was good to see. I thought it was intentional. Well, it was intentional. All writing's intentional. But it was good to see Rosita out there fighting. Remember, they intentionally weakened Rosita down, and now they intentionally put her out there killing some walkers. Now, she didn't have her A game. Eugene had to come out, which is not something you want to be known for, is Eugene having to help you. But it's baby steps. So I am going to be full speed ahead in the second half. I'm actually looking forward to the Maggie introduction. But I will also tell you, if it's not a reboot and it is a continuation of what we saw in season 8, I will have some reservation. And it won't be for the character or for the actor, because I know Lauren can play the role. Now the pressure, look, they got their person back. They got the character back. It's what the writers do with it at this point. And if we can redeem Father G by putting him in a cell with Dante and letting him stab him 16 times, we could have the widow coming in with guns a-blazing and certainly leave a long-lasting effect on our audience. Because the one thing I know about you guys, you guys have been my viewers for several years. It only takes a little bit of hype to really get us back on that train. So I'm looking forward to the Maggie reintroduction, and I think it's going to be phenomenal. And the show probably is going to need it now more than ever, especially losing Michonne, and we don't know which other characters could potentially die this season. So give this video a thumbs up. And once you give this video a thumbs up, you guys like what we do, leave in comments here as we exit. Let me know what you are most looking forward to the Maggie reintroduction. We did Play Dead Live last night. We had a lot of fun with Play Dead Live. Give you guys just an idea of the calendar the rest of the week. We are... Tomorrow is up in the air. I said initially we weren't going to do a Walking Dead stream at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Several people are available. We might. So if you're doing something, I get it. If you're not, we may still stream tomorrow night. Monday night, we are doing Mashup Monday. But then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, no streams. So we'll at least take 3 days off, and then we will be back on Friday. So maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely Monday, and then 3 days off. So if I don't see you guys tomorrow, then we'll see you Monday night for a little bit of trivia. And we still got, we had a blast last night. The pack openings were great. Some of you guys asking extended questions. The pack openings were fun, a lot of interaction, some really good sportsmanship. We had people buying packs for other people. We did a sample of the duels, and there were some really neat super chats and some change of scenery that I had a blast with it. It was very, they weren't even complete duels. They were just kind of sample duels. But you can see how that's going to develop once people are geared and they got the interaction and everything else. So I think the sky's the limit with PDL and also duels. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your Saturday, and I will see all of you either tomorrow night or Monday. Shout out to the patrons, PDL sponsors, the members, the Green Team. You guys do me a favor, Green Team, on the way out. Show a little bit of love to Crystal, the singer Chick Gore, and also Kimberly M., our super fans of the month. They represent this channel amazingly. Also, the super chatters, our moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells, Ben, and Nerd. Did I go solo without a moderator today? You know what? I just looked up. I don't even know if I have a mod in the house. Look, I went modless. I'm doing coffee with kills with solo. All right, hey, no worries. I think they're all sleeping in. We had a really long stream, but it's all good. I will see all of you tomorrow night. Peace.